Hello everyone, Mike Forsyth here of MGF Attorneys in Hilton, KwaZulu-Natal, South Africa. With National Wills Week coming up in September, I'd like to talk to you about what documents to keep on file together with your will so that it makes life easy for your executor and your heirs when your estate is processed. In your file you should keep whichever of the following documents are relevant to you. If it is not possible to keep these documents on file, then make copies and give a reference to where the originals can be found. First of all, your will, either the original or a reference to where this is filed. It could be with your bank, with your attorney, your accountant, or financial advisor. Your identity document, a good copy of this. A copy of a marriage certificate if you are married, and if you are married out of community of property, then a copy of your ante-nuptial contract. Any divorce order, if you have been divorced, then a copy of your divorce order together with any settlement agreement relating to that divorce. It may be important with that divorce settlement agreement to show who is entitled to part of your pension and various other requirements which will be in that settlement agreement. Birth certificates of minors if they are beneficiaries of the estate. We need your credit cards and bank cards, or certainly a reference to them. Any other bank accounts, so bank statements, your most recent bank statements, keep a copy of that on file. An unused checkbook for those of you who are still using checks. Most people we find these days are banking by way of EFTs or programs apps that you can use online. You would also have copies of any share certificates for your share portfolio, unit trust certificates, and registration certificates for vehicles. In the old days, you had one of those little grey logbooks. These days, the so-called logbook is just a single sheet of paper issued by the relevant road traffic authority, which shows who the current owner of the vehicle is. Very importantly, deeds of transfer for immovable property in your name. If your property is mortgaged to the bank and you don't have a copy of a deed of transfer, please ask me to get a copy of your title deed for you, and I will send an electronic copy to you so that you can file this with your documentation. Your most recent municipal account for each property, showing what the rates are and the rates number, electricity accounts, water accounts, and the like. If you own a property in a sectional title scheme, then a levy certificate is important for us to hold on to. Any lease agreements, maybe you let out a property, or maybe you are the tenant in a property, so lease agreements for those properties would be important. Then, if we could also have details of your usual general practitioner and any other medical specialists who may be looking after you. Your medical scheme membership would also be important for us to have a little look at and to keep on file. Any tax documentation. We are obliged to insert your tax reference number when reporting an estate, so any tax documentation would be important. Any personal accounts in your name, chemist's account, hardware store, any sort of accounts like that, if we could get copies of those. Any short-term insurance policies and long-term insurance policies, and also any funeral policies. Obviously, funeral policies are important to have on file as early as possible in the case of your demise, to prevent your heirs having to dip too deep into their own pockets to pay for your funeral. Television license, hire purchase agreements, and firearm licenses are also very necessary to have on file. Any information on sources of additional income, such as royalties as an author or as a mining magnate, all of those need to be disclosed, and also any reference to offshore investments which you may have. Any other documents related to your financial affairs that you know of should also be kept there. It makes life for the executor very much easier. You should also make a list of people to be contacted in the event of your demise. Any friends, family, and heirs. Also, please put a letter together with your will advising your heirs whether you want to be buried or cremated, and also whether there should be a wake or any other party to celebrate your life. I hope this has been useful to you. Watch out for more videos in future. Thanks so much.